So hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of XP11. I say another episode, it's not a premiere. So, for those who do know, this morning I flew into Venice, and it was only a day trip this time, so returning back home in the evening. So yeah, back in our trusty Ryanair as per usual. The only airline I ever seem to fly in the real world, I must say. Hopefully end of the year I'll be flying something different, but we'll see how that goes. And yeah, so we're here at Venice Marco Polo. There's an EasyJet just over in the main terminal, though with Ryanair we go to the slightly more distant one. And other than that, looking fairly clear today. And oh yeah, scenery has loaded this time. For those who did spots, when I was doing my first pack stream, the scenery here wasn't quite appearing as it should have been. So we're going to do it in turnaround mode, since the flight should be departing in about 10 minutes. And if it is going to be that soon, we'll quickly start up all the tracking. So first things first, we'll quickly do the fuel for passengers arrive. So fuel and weight balance. Total fuel on board will be was it 7407. Fuel 7.407. There we go. And we'll start up all the passenger tracking, so bring the bus over. They should arrive very shortly. And while we do that, we'll then start up the tracking for all the services. So smart cards can start, minimize that. Project flight, we can also start. Flying now, back, and book. And finally, the add-on we're all interested in, PAX. So, departure ICO is Lips to Echo Golf Sierra Sierra Stansted. Time until takeoff will be about 10 minutes. Well, actually, exact time would be 25, so 5 to 7, 8 minutes until takeoff. Flight time is 2 hours 10. Cruising altitude will be 38,000 feet with a flight number of FR. What is our flight number? FR799. Aircraft is a 737-800. Now, total passengers on board. I should probably have checked that before closing smart cards Vamsis. It would be nice to actually see the number on the smart cards tracker. Looking up from here, our total passenger number shall be Ryanair.eu. Go out in a second. But while I'm here, let's just start with the setting process. So we are flying from Lips, Lima, India, Papa, Zulu. Since we are fuel, fuel truck was never here. Okay. In that case, seatbelt sign can just come on automatically. Lips to Stansted, Echo Golf Sierra Sierra. Company routes won't do. Runway for departure will be 04 left, I'm presuming today. That is 04 right. So do a quick weather check here. Winds are 1405 knots. So 140, that would be facing. I have to use this basic thing. Hang on. So it's 90. 4, yeah, so actually probably be 22 right we're departing from. Fuel is set, reserves 1.1, cost next to 23, and the cruising altitude of 380. Average winds for today is 172 to 035. So once again, for those who miss out the morning stream or haven't seen these before, whenever I do a premiere, it basically means I'm flying in the real world and therefore recreating my flights within X-Plane 11. So that should be pretty cool. This will open up in a couple of moments. So there we go. Passenger numbers today is 166. An updated time. So departing in 6 minutes, hopefully. Bring a bit tight, but hey. There's 166 people on board. Custom safety demonstration. Of course, we are flying Ryanair, so we will load up the Ryanair one. I'll do safety for Ryanair Vision 2. Okay. So that'll be our flights now loaded. Back to FMS. Now that's close. And then 1 limit. Actually, not just yet. We're going to set up the route, aren't we? So, starting off at Rokib. R-O-K-I-B. Zulu 468. To Gikeb. Then it's T101 to Naksav. Directs to Sotov. P66 to KPT, Kilo Papo Tango. Next page, where we put in Lima 608. Okay, does not exist, so we'll fly direct to Lirsu. Then it directs to D-Nut. And it's Uniform Lima 608. So we'll try another 608. This one does exist. We get to Sunum. Or Summum, sorry. Which, for those who watched my flights to Southend, was my final waypoint. But since we're going to Stansted, we'll go Yankee 6 to Edesi. A waypoint that we have been to before. A number of flights. Activate executes. Go to the inlet ref page again. Sail car set. And take off. We use 10 the flaps. Center gravity set. 1, 2, 3. 1, 4, 1 rotate. We'll stick that onto here. Cruising altitude, like I say, will be 38,000, so we'll set that up on the PFD. Well, not PFD, sorry, the MCDU. Well, it's not even MCDU, that's Airbus name. This is just the autopilot panel. And then on the overhead, adjust that to 8. Everything's looking good, packs off as required. Let's start up the APU. And while passengers are boarding, or the flight crew do their thing in the back, and then we'll do a quick welcome aboard while passengers are still boarding. So another 3 minutes till departure, which is fine. A few people seated, but I'm sure towards the end there go a few aircraft not on aircraft. Few people, sorry, not on aircrafts. And like I said, in a second we'll let them finish their talking before we do our first interaction with the passengers ourselves. There we go. Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking from the flight deck, here with First Officer. There is no First Officer, and you welcome aboard this flight FR799 to London Stansted. Flight time will be 2 hours and 10 minutes, and the weather's looking quite cool in the UK right now. It will be night time, of course, and so we ask you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flights. Our cabin crew should take great care of you today, and so if they, again, it just cuts off ever so early, this will be general. In fact, expedite boarding, generic. Yeah, this will be generic. Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking from the flight deck, here with First Officer. There is no First Officer, and you welcome aboard this flight FR799 to London Stansted. Flight time will be 2 hours and 10 minutes, and the weather's looking quite cool in the UK right now. It will be night time, of course. Yeah, it just cuts off ever so slightly, Pax. I have spoken to Colin about it, and it's something that they will be looking into. Anyways, since this is almost set, we'll look for a departure on the Rokib, which there is. Execute that. And APU should now be running. So I'll turn off the ground power, go to ground services, disconnect GPU. So the APU bleed is running, and also secure the aircraft. Ready for departure in a couple of moments. Also set up the pushback, pre-plan that. Since we need easy access to the taxiway, I presume, yeah, we'll just push back to the left it. We are based in the far corner of the airport. Ryanair don't quite go to the main stands here at Venice Marco Polo. Marco Polo actually been quite new airports for Ryanair. They usually fly to the secondary ones, so it's quite a new service this. I cannot complain, it's certainly quite useful. Bear in mind I'm actually flying in the real world right now, so... Right, that should be fine. Let's secure the aircraft in a couple of moments. One thing I do want to check is... Yeah, it should be alright. 20:25, so we should actually be leaving right about now. A couple of seconds away from departure. Let's go to the doors. We will remove the pushback tug and close the forward cargo. Close both exits. The buses can drive away. And in a second, so can the stairs. The bus is going to cut it quite close, I must say. There we go. Right hand side, you are now leaving. There goes the other bus, and then there goes the stairs. Next one we'll be calling on is the pushback tug. That's looking fine, and we'll set up the lighting for night time. So panel bright, circuit breaking bright, cabin has been secured, passengers have boarded. A little bit of backlighting, a little bit of flood lighting. Main panel bright, and down here, panels go bright.
When you find your seat, please be sure to place your larger carry-on items in the overhead bin.
Dome lights off. Everything's looking good. Let's now request pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Please let a flight attendant know, and we would be happy to assist you.
Here it comes, and as it stands, yeah, should be alright. Sensor fuel pumps on, since we have got... Okay, no, don't have any sensor fuel, so you can turn those off. And that should be that. Seatbelt signs on, APU power is active, packs are off, APU bleed is on. Turn on the anti-collision lights, since we're starting to prepare for departure. Tax lights just yet, logo lights and all that is fine. Logo lights will turn off at 10,000 feet, and then we'll turn back on after we reach 10,000 the arrival. Everything good, bus out the way, stairs out the way, that's also out the way. I'm sure we start moving as well.
Okay, all
also
doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Ready to connect, that is fine. What time is it now? 20:27. So yeah, about that for the real world time. As always, it's not going to be exact, but if you do search my flight number onto Flight Radar 24, reminder it's FR799, then you guys get to track that in the real world, like I say. And whenever I do fly in the real world, I always do go for the premieres to match it. You can tell that there's going to be some outside lighting on the overhead panel there, causing a bit of brightness. Also, in fact, I'm not using any dim lighting. It's just the outside light affecting it.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Parking brake released.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Engine to start as soon as we move. Also, double check actually if someone's online. I should always check the stuff. No, there's not. Engine to start. Wait for that to tick over. And then run engine 1. We may now start up. And starts. Make sure I'm on 2.8 Unicom, that's fine. TCAS set to on. Engine 1 is starting. All looking good. As soon as the pushback tug stops, we'll lower the flap, set a trim, and then set ourselves on our way. Taxi shouldn't be particularly too long. Get easy access to Drawyah here from Venice, and well, main terminal is just there. So we'll basically be following the green dotted line all the way to the runway for making a left-hand turn
Operation
onto the
complete.
runway.
Set parking brake.
Parking brake set. Flaps down to
Disconnecting
10.
tow. Stand by.
Trim is 3.88. There we go. Check the system. So make sure we've got full control of the aircraft. Whoops, the microphone stands actually in the way of this one. Just quickly adjust that. There we go. Disconnect. Radar control as well. Looking good. Back to engines. And then next thing we need to do is just turn off the parking brakes when ready. So switch the bleeds around, packs come on, we'll pressurise at 38.
Hose disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Thank you very much. So you move out the way. Everything has been set, aircraft's prepared. So it's just waiting for the signal. As soon as it does that, taxiing to runway 22 left, lips ground. There we go, hand signal given, taxi lights come on, parking brakes off, bit of minimum throttle as we now make our ways to the runway. Shouldn't be a particularly long taxi like I say. Yeah, they always go for the seats for departure. Normally I'd like to be the one saying it, but sadly not the case. Yeah, right now we are at 11 feet. Actually, let me just do a quick weather check here. It's which my altimeter is set properly. 1010. I think that's set to 1012. 1110.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard. Please note the cabin door is now closed. We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already, please fasten your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight across your lap. Your tray tables and seatbacks must be in the full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, secure doors for departure.
Is that the runway or not? I genuinely don't know, and I do want to check it before I do continue taxi. Yes, that is runway access. It needs to be down at the other end.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screen for an important safety demonstration.
So PAX will now do its safe demonstration, and now it will sound the exact same sound file as the Ryanair. At least it should do, but using the screens mentioned there, so not quite accurate for the real world, I'm afraid, with Ryanair. Like I say, PAX is in its infancy, still very much in early access. I'm sure in the future we'll certainly see some more upgrades made. Right, so we're following this taxiway down, and I do fortunately know that from the last flights we don't require backtrack here. It's Venice, the aircraft will be able to depart with the remaining length of runway. I have noticed that the Ryanair safe demonstration is not playing, so I'll happily drop that as a mention to Colin as well. Anyhow, we'll be taking off very shortly, like I say. In the real world, I presume we've already been, already have departed, been in the air for a couple of moments. Although, as always, like I say, my real world flying and simulator flying always has some slight discrepancies. You can never get it quite exact. Just as I've crossed the live runway and probably should have a requested departure there. Do I quite know where I'm going? I honestly don't. Oh yeah, that's fine. So I'll hold the position here. Set parking brake, apply contact. Lips, traffic, departing, runway 22 left. Set the landing lights to, whoops, what have I done? Fuel pump. Set the landing lights on. Sets the taxi lights off. Runway 10 light off, lights on. That's all fine. Rejected brake off. Sorry, rejected takeoff brake sets. That's all fine. No one's coming into land, I don't think. Negative. So runway is clear for us to use. About 10 minutes, I guess, away from our departure time. At least time to leave the gates, so that should be perfect for us to now make our way onto the runway. Yeah, we are right at the end, so nothing for us to have any issues with either. Engine runway a little bit slower than I'd liked. Anyhow, engine's up to 50%. Engines are stable. Max throttle it is.
knots.
80 knots. V1, rotate, gear up, four hundreds, bring on the autopilot, pressurized landing gear, 1000. Up to 5. Slightly cloudy, I can see. Not much going outside at this low level. Keeping on PFD, flaps up to 1. Ejected takeoff brakes cut. And that's 218 knots. Flaps up. And there we go, that should now take us all the way to our destination without any hassle there. Perfect. Legs go back, make sure we're actually still en route. So I noticed that sometimes. Yeah, make sure that gets that waypoint, we'll just set that as our next active, and then we'll just be confirming that our flight plan has been set correctly. Just the easy way to do it, as I have notes on some of my flights. The first waypoint doesn't quite always come into active, so we just need to manually push that forward. As it stands, we have departed. Winds aren't too strong at the moment, only 8 knots, although slightly headwind. No lighting outside, so we are currently by the coast. Right side's got a little bit more for us. Although the Venice Central City will be that just behind us. Otherwise, everything's looking pretty good at the moment. Like I say, nothing particularly out of the ordinary. We'll now set the next waypoint just to confirm it. Altimeter set to standard, please. Ah, come on. There we go. Altimeter standard. And the aircraft should do the rest. So at 10,000 feet, like I said, we'll turn off landing lights, turn off lights and logo light. And we should be at Stansted. If I check, it says 2 hours 50 minutes on smart cars. That's never quite right until we get to cruise. So of course our most useful bit of information will be that from PAX. There we go, 1 hour 56 till arrival. passenger numbers all seated and on board. What I want to do and check is the seatbelt sign. Yeah, seatbelt sign should have been turned on the ground. That's something I will also look into as well. Moment from departure, we'll be able to turn on the seatbelt sign. Right, up to 10,000.
Now past 10,000 feet, you may turn on larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened
Dome
throughout
lights
the duration of the flight and do
dim.
not form a line near the lavatories.
Turn off lights off, local lights off, not required. In there, best to turn off automatically, but in a Boeing manual. And seatbelt sign off, since we do not require it. So it's nice and stable, no real turbulence or anything to worry about. And yeah, everything's seems pretty good at the moment. We go to AVI tab, we'll go to map. Quick look at our position, although, yeah, coming over Padova. Venice is now behind us. And we'll continue with our turns. Charts, airports. So go to airports, have a look at Stansted right now. Winds are 5 knots, 140, so that means runway 22 landing. The standard for Stansted, Q's 1007, so not too much pressure going on at the moment. Which seems it's been quite a clear day at Stansted today. In fact, we'll keep that open just for the remainder of the flights. AVI tab, we'll go to the map again and we'll leave it on map view for the majority, I think we will. So, yes, that's it. Currently in Venice for the day. Went there with my mother for a quick day trip out. And, yeah, it was pretty good. Venice being the famous canal city. And also, this was my first time in Italy, so, as always, another week, another country for me. But I really now want to take a long break from travelling, focus on the channel a little bit more, focus on YouTube, since I have kind of forgotten about this since the start of last year. Especially now that I'm on quite a bit of a growth spurt at the moment on this channel, so hopefully try and push up with that. And yeah, things are looking pretty good at the moment. What are they saying in the back? Nothing particularly of note. I presume that's something from virtual Ryanair. Or not PAX. I don't think PAX has like generic male voice in the back just yet. Soon past flight level 170. So the time in the UK is now 7:45. Let's do times that local time. That may be local time, yeah. So if time in the UK is now 7:45, then Tuesday night, yeah, there's probably a few people knocking about. I'm not expecting too many. Usually it's the weekends that get a little bit more popular. I'm at least flying the Premiere. As I always say, we're flying with the Premiere, flying the real world in X-Plane. It's just a way of bringing you guys with me whenever I travel in the real world. I always say it's the exact same thing every single time I fly. That's something that'll never change. As long as I'm travelling, you guys can too. And if you also check out my second channel as well, Europe Overloads, there's little arms up icon you can click on. And yeah, that's also my second channel, my travel channel, where you guys get to kind of just follow me in the real world and see where I end up next time. Honestly, my big end goal for this year would be to spend Christmas in Finland. That I'm sure will be rather interesting. The negative 20 degrees of horror that country can bring you. Yeah, Finland really does seem like a great country to be, especially around Christmas time. Knowing that Santa Claus himself is from Finland, he's from Lapland. But yeah, we'll see what time brings me, I guess. See what work does, see how much income I can get in, kind of just figure out what I can plan out. But Finland is ultimately the end goal for me this year. That I cannot deny. 22,000 past, flight level 200. Coming up to the Italian Alps, the foothills of that. Probably not too visible at night, but if I stuck the night vision on, you still can't see it. Great. Yeah, a lot of this night scenery right now around us will be default nights. And then once we get over to the UK, it will be a lot of Orbex slicing in action. And Stansted Airport UK 2000 as well, so a lot of high quality scenery coming up too. Just not be able to see much of it because it's the pitch black at night. Although if I move my sim into high quality settings rather than medium, it doesn't mean that dynamic lighting now works. Setting it to medium just kills off all dynamic lighting, so yeah, well, it may be easy to run, it's just not quite as appealing for anyone, so it's nice to kind of get my settings kind of actually bolstered down, because like I say, for a little while I have been messing around with it, trying to get it as good as possible, but it has always been a bit of a struggle, me and X-Plane, so it's nice, I said, to kind of actually get something down on concrete to be able to use in the long run. Keep an eye on some Unicom contacts, since there's a few aircraft now coming in. And there go the other Ryanair. Oh, another Ryanair, 76 Bravo Victor. Oh no, that's me. Just ignore that, sorry. I'm going mad. Yeah, it's an aircraft turning Ryanair runway 28, 20 nautical miles out for Sierra Zulu Hotel. There's also another aircraft correcting in there. So, LIZH. What airport's this? Not map. I'll go to airports. Search for LIZH. Where are these people flying to? No match, unless I've completely put that in wrong. Whoops. Back. Yeah, if we spot the message again, then we can just double check that. Why can't I? There we go. Still on the keypad there, so just continue typing. Passengers all look happy. Outside is slightly cloudy, but not much going on. Left hand side's got a bit more action to it. Not too sure what seats I'm sitting on. Let me have a quick look at that on the Ryanair app. I believe it's rows 24, so the usual for me. Let's post 26, have a look. So London Stansted to Venice Marco Polo. LSZH. Oh, that's Zurich. Okay, I don't need to search that one. That's Zurich Airport. LSZH. Yeah, Zurich Grenchen. Fair few runways here. Winds 4 knots 100, so nice and clear there. Stansted, do a quick update. Still 5 knots 140. Not expecting at all any weather issues when we do come into land. Hopefully nice and soft, although like I say my night landings aren't always the most confident. Let's have a look. So sitting 26 F and E, 26 F and E, so it will be this side. And it will be on this kind of view. So slightly behind the wing from the usual spots, I guess, 24. The plane fans' favourite seats. But regardless, still the same kind of view. I actually say kind of prefer seat 26 to 24. Because at least 26 you have 2 windows rather than 1, so you're not kind of invading the entire space. That being said, on a new interior, it's the other way around. 26 is 1 window, while 24 is the 2. Likewise, when the 737 MAX 200 comes out for Ryanair at the end of this year, presuming the Boeing embargo does lift, then it's just a case of figuring out what a good spot on that view is. I mean, the MAX 200 is not particularly any longer than the MAX 8, but it certainly will be a lot more cramped. Well, no, it's more like they've removed toilets, basically. They've moved the toilet to the back of the airplane and just moved stuff around from there. So 1,500 to go now. In a couple of moments, I'll be doing the cruising message. So I'll be speaking to passengers to announce that we are now at our cruising altitude, and then give them, I guess, a quick weather update at Stansted. So let's do that, shall we? Airport. Right, 5 knot winds, 140. Visibility 10,000. TCU 1409. I'm not quite sure what that actually means, TCU. 13255, okay. Spot to them first. 3255. Merchant radar. Good evening, Merchant radar. This is Ryanair. What's my call sign? Ryanair 76 Bravo Victor. With you at flight level 375 for 380. I don't know, it's 500 feet.
Ryanair 76 Bravo Victor München radar, good evening, identified. Proceed direct Q0, Kilo Uniform November Oscar Delta.
Q-Nod. Direct Q-Nod for Ryanair 76 Bravo Victor. Was that one of our waypoints?
München Radar, Lufthansa Fast 079,
We'll go D nuts. That should be same.
inbound in. Lufthansa Fast 079, München Radar, good evening, identified flight level 340.
Oh, D. Okay, yeah. So we'll go direct to D nuts.
Alpha Golf November Alpha Victor.
And that should be the massive jump that he wants. So we've reached cruising now, so I'll speak to the passengers. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have just reached our cruising altitude of 38,000 feet. It's about 13,000 meters. And checking the weather at Stansted, it's looking nice and clear, no clouds in the sky, with the temperature around 14 degrees, although probably reach 9 by the time we do land. So we hope that you have been enjoying the flight so far, and if you have any questions, feel free to speak to our cabin crew. So close, yet so far. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have just reached our cruising altitude of 38,000 feet. It's about 13,000 meters. And checking the weather at Stansted, it's looking nice and clear, no clouds in the sky, with the temperature around 14 degrees, although probably reach 9 by the time we do land. So we hope that you have been enjoying the flight so far. So close yet so far. Like I say, we need to speak about getting the message kind of completed. Fortunately, now I've got this proper video proof about it, which I can then stick onto the TFDI forums. Boom! In-flight surface. Wait. Please disregard everything the flight attendant is saying right now. We are Ryanair. We do not give out free food and drinks. Pay for everything. There is no complimentary. There is no free. Forget what she just said. Can I modify that? No? Okay. Please disregard everything the flight attendant is saying right now. We are Ryanair. We do not give out free food and drinks. Pay for everything. There is no complimentary. There is no free. Forget what she just said. Bit of conflict in the cabin, eh? But, nah, it's a bit of fun, that. To be fair, maybe not anymore, because O'Leary is selling his horse racing business. But the two occasions where the Ryanair horse did actually win the Grand Nationals in the UK, passengers did get free drinks on that flight. It was one drink free, so... What am I saying? Yeah, that's a bit of conflict, a bit of a joke. Yeah, like I said, I've never had a problem with Ryanair, and I have on multiple occasions bought something from the trolley that comes through the cabin. Alright, so we are now on München Centre. We have got contacts, like I say, with Tower. And everything else is running pretty smooth. But that's it. We are now actually getting drinks within the flights. Passengers do get served something. And so, foods, they may get hungry over time, I'm not quite sure. There we go, got one passenger that's hungry. Although all passengers are sober. They haven't got any drunkards just yet. Google just spoke to me there. I'm not quite sure what I said to activate it. But fair enough. Now all the passengers seem pretty happy right now. Quite a lot of leisure, I must say, on board. Not quite as much business. But flying to Venice. Maybe not as many passengers. Oh yeah, don't forget I'm flying the real world, so my name better be in here. My mother's name will certainly not be in here. I don't think I'm here either. No, what a shame. What a shame. Well, that being said, I could actually adjust the passenger's name if I wanted to. There is a way that can be done. So I believe we have now left Italian airspace, and we'll actually be making our way into Switzerland now. Do we actually go into Switzerland? Ravensburg, Bern. No, not quite. It's straight into Germany, by the looks of things. Yeah, this is into Germany. So fly through there, and then it's just to the north. We then cut across, not onto France, but through the Netherlands, because there's less chance of any issues coming through that. Like I said in one of my live streams recently, a lot of airlines that don't fly through France don't fly through France.
Boeing 1 Zulu, contact Wien Radar 134.35. Bye bye.
134.35. Bye bye, thanks for Boeing 1 Zulu.
Hello, Munich Radar. It was 155 with you start at 370. Speedbird 155, München Radar, good evening. Set squawk 2357. 2357, Speedbird 155.
I recognise this guy's voice, Speedbird. I'm not quite sure who it is. So he's not from another frequency. I might have spoken to him on Discord or something. Possibly. I'm not too sure. Let me have a check. Surely not.
155 identified at flight level 372. Please check your altimeter. Yeah, sorry about that. Speedbird 155.
Yeah, okay. Definitely not who I thought it was. His voice sounds so familiar.
Speedbird 155, you are descending now. Very nice.
What was that about? It's sounding
Now at
very
flight
nice.
level 377.
Nah, it's looking pretty good at the moment. If I were to on the logo lights, you'd be able to see the Ryanair logo on the tail. But like I say, logo lights stay off below 10,000, since at this altitude no one can see it. And, well yeah, it doesn't really matter for anything. Likewise for the logo, dome light, sorry. If I had it bright, yeah, it'd be just too much. I could just leave it off, to be fair, but in case I do need something quick, having these dim lights does help with the quick overview, especially if you have a panel where I've decided to go for no lighting, just the, sorry, no actual panel lighting, just the backlights. The flight has been going well so far. Passengers are being fed and drunk. Here you go, we've got one person drunk. Lena Campbell, 58 years old. Here we go, see if we can get any young drunks, shall we? Yeah, it's just the one passenger drunk.
Good evening, Ryanair 76 Mike Kilo with you, flight level 340.
Yeah, only one person actually ordered alcohol on board this plane, I must say.
Ryanair 76 Mike Kilo, München Radar, good evening, identified.
That's not us. We are 76 Bravo Victor.
Mike Kilo, disregard my last transmission. Set the clock 2360, it's late now.
76 Mike Kilo, that's going to get confusing.
Squawk 2360, Ryanair 6 my kilo.
76 Mike Kilo.
Good evening, Navigate. You're free Alpha uniform, flight level 110, climbing 190. Inbound Udo.
Here is 3 Alpha Uniform, München Radar. Good evening, hello Andreas. Identified, climb flight level 280.
Climbing flight level 280, Eurowings 3 Alpha uniform.
Ryanair 76 my kilo, identified flight level 340.
Michael isn't responding to him, but he is descending, so...
Ryanair 76 Bravo Victor, no further AC available, monitor Unicom 122.8, bye bye.
1-2.8, thank you very much and have a great evening. Alright, 1-2.8.
Thank you, bye.
And so we will now be on Unicom for the presumably rest of the flight actually, because like I said, it's not exactly much going on in the vaccine world. In terms of number of pilots online, which we check the radar, there are 544 vaccine pilots on, although no towers in Europe other than that one. I'm actually surprised I actually had one in the first place, so I'm not complaining. If I have a look at the numbers, Delta Mile, it's actually a bit of a Munich activity going on. ADR Centre, Delta Lima Tower. Slight pressure change there. I've lost a few feet. It wasn't so much a weather one, so keep an eye on the weather here as well. And there's a fair bit of activity actually going on, especially around Germany, although not an airport I'm flying to. We'll be passing through most of that without any issues. We are definitely in Germany now, just to the west of Munich, south of Stuttgart. And so, as we continue with our flights, we should be expecting to arrive in 1 hour and 1 minute. Check this, it's 1 hour and 28. Given the approach and time to taxi, that does sound pretty accurate to what we should be doing. Just confirm here on smart cars, 1 hour 1 minute is the planned arrival time in the middle of that. I've made a total of 45 flights on Project Fly so far. Going up to 50, which I believe is an achievement on it in the system. Changing airports. Yeah, frequent flyer, complete 50 flights. I'm far away from that one. Not looking too bad. My flight map's very limited to Europe. I've got 1 flight in Japan, 2 flights in the US. I don't quite cover as much as I actually did. But I should definitely look to fly in a few more routes outside of the American subcontinents, outside of the European continent even. I mean, I was going to say Eurasian subcontinent, but we don't really fly in Asia, and that 1 flight in Japan, like I said. So if you guys have any route requests outside of Europe, I could do on a stream at some points, then please throw them my way, because I am certainly happy to do them. Nah, it's not particularly too bad, and I've certainly enjoyed using Project Fly since first trying it out. Wish I actually did it a bit earlier, not gonna lie. But regardless, it's doing a job. It's actually doing a job. Yeah, I will try and look into that extended night lights album actually. The one that kind of brings back the original explain night lighting setup. Because as much as I guess these do improve FPS, it sadly doesn't look quite as good as it used to. It looks very, very patchy, very messy. Yeah, there's a runway down there, is it? Yep, that is another airport. And then left hand side also. Yeah, very messy that. In fact, let me stick it onto Google now. Explain extended night lights. Is it extended night lights? Explain night light mod. Okay, I'll try and look into it. I know there is an add-on out there which does bring back night lighting, but obviously I don't remember the name of it, so that needs to do a bit of digging. But SARS the Explainer has done well into becoming kind of my main simulator setup. And compared to the fact that I've always thought I'd be using FSX side by side of this. I mean, the Zyber's not perfect, don't get me wrong, there are still a few minor issues with it. But as a whole, I'm certainly enjoying X-Plane a lot more than I was doing with FSX, especially towards the end there, where the lagging and the frame rate issues, it just became too much to kind of really deal with. No point forcing myself. And so, yeah, it's coming up to a year now since I actually completely took over. X-Plane's my #1 platform. Before it was sort of like a 737, I'd fly FSX, anything else, X-Plane kind of mix, but it's just kind of I said no point forcing myself, just stick it to one sim and enjoy it. So, we are potentially coming up to our midpoint now. Yeah, 40 minutes flying, 52 to the arrival, so we're just shy of the midpoint. As we now cross over, where are we on the map? Yeah, it's just passing Stuttgart now. Actually, we'll be flying the German-French border for a little while until we get to Belgium. So we actually go into German airspace for a very short bit. Well, bear in mind we're still flying to our next waypoint of D-Nuts. There's a chance that our original waypoint could have actually taken us around that. So, as we say, obviously a slight change in the flight plan there to work around. So now into French airspace. And then criss and cross between the two for the next couple of minutes. Do a quick check on the passengers, make sure that they're all okay. All satisfied, nothing particularly to stand out with. Oh, hang on, there's an upset one there. Alright, I'm sure. There you go, upset. 16 years old and leisure, female, Marion Gregory. Hungry but sober, upset. I wonder what you're upset about. Obviously, passengers have a bit more emotion now, I guess. There's another one there. Where are you? Not Andrew, not Florence. Risky Bush. Sorry, Ricky Bush. What am I on about? Oh, it's the younger ones actually that seem to be upset for some reason. Alright, content. Is there anything in particular you could maybe say? X-Flight cabin, generic. See sign on. Problem, that'll certainly not help. Ahead of schedule. I might do ahead of schedule in a couple of moments, but we'll see. How long's till the top of descent actually? I should probably check that. Not for a little while actually, coming up to 220 miles there. What did I just want to do there as well? Just gonna have a look at our approach. Quick weather update before I do that. So that won't change, which I'm happy to say that it will be runway 22 to land with an approach. Yes, last waypoint is not in Lodz, it's Odessa. So I'll just do a quick charts check to see which if the waypoints will be our final. EGSS charts. Go to NATS. Go to arrival charts. South Laurel and South ASCII, and we'll bring up Southwest charts as well. And do a search for Odessa. Nope. Odessa, no. Odessa, no. Odessa, no. Okay. Look for an alternative. So we don't go out the Isle of Wight, do we? Isle of Wight. It will likely be. Which chart is this? Doug Mayfield. It's Laurel for Quebec. Do we have that? For Quebec, so we do. We'll do it via. Why do you want to do it via? Station Parkway to Abbott. I don't particularly want Abbott. It's not going to be Laurel, I don't think. Laurel's a bit out of the way for us. Baton, PPK, Laurel comes into there. We've execute it as it is. Then we'll go plan modes. We'll go step by step, zoom in it as well actually. So, next page. Step, Odessa, Banva is going to be where? It's a bit of a long one. Let's go to the next page, shall we? Undug, May, step. If we went to Vaton actually, so sorry, no, that's Vaton. Execute that. Could we actually maybe do an approach from the north? Let me just replan this entire thing. Obviously it'll be a Laurel, as you now know. Not that north though. Via ASCII. No, I need something from the east. So obviously nothing in from the east. Okay, so if we go straight to Buster, I think it's called. Yeah, Buster. Put that in its place. At least gives us more of a straight line into our approach. And then that we have to accept as our arrival into Stansted. We should be able to sort out our landing. Or at the station, sorry. So our landing. We've still got a little while left to arrive. How many more miles on next waypoint? 170. Which we'll get there at 21:49. It's 21:27. So another 29 minutes till we actually get to that waypoint. So that's only a bit of a skip with that one, thanks to the air traffic controller. Another ping there, so that means a passenger requesting something from the flight attendants. Now, having the packs, like I say, Stansted has had a little bit of life to the cabin. Everything's pretty standard so far. A few more passengers getting upset for some reason. Sheesh, I know we're flying Ryanair, but things aren't that bad, are they? Alright, arrival time 1 hour 7 minutes. ETA 1 hour, sorry, 40 minutes, sorry. So 27 early so far. If it gets top percent, I'll maybe do a quick message for early arrival. Just going to keep the cameras rotating a bit since there's not particularly too much to talk about at the moment. But I need to try and keep the stream alive a little bit. There we go, a quick weather update. We check the altitudes there. Yeah, the weather didn't do too much to the aircraft. We should be alright. Right, I'm nearing Belgium now. The builder is just in front of us. In fact, we are actually over Luxembourg now. Tiny little country. Border's coming up just ahead of us. And it's Belgium. Directly over Brussels, actually. Before making our way across the channel into the UK. So, not particularly long now to go. Ooh, a bit of thunder actually to our right hand side. I just spotted the lights flashing. Just give the frame rate a second to adjust with that actually. But yeah, definitely a bit of thunder there. Expecting a stormy approach. The UK should be quite clear. But no, there you go. Continental Europe do get quite a few more storms compared to the UK. we go. Now within 160 miles an hour. Yeah, so I'll set the altitude to 2000, which is the intercept at Stansted. 2500, although 2000 will just set to for the extra bit of altitude. And then, yeah, make our way back into the UK. Landing, not expecting too much of a bump. Well, that being said, at night, always a little heavy on the touchdown. I do need to land to flare a little bit earlier. For my last two landings, last three landings actually have been a bit late flare, so I just need to time it right around 40-30 feet. Not 300 like I used to, and not quite as low as 10 like the last couple. Where'd top of the descent mark go? Oh, I zoomed in. That's where it went. Yeah, okay, I'm going crazy now. So, yeah, coming up to 80. And notice that there's a bit of a Gatwick and Heathrow convo as well. So we're now making it in towards the London area. Alright, zooming PFD once more. Soon to leave the Belgium coast. Just going up ahead of us now. So, what is our estimated arrival time now set to? 19 minutes, and maybe 10 for the approaching gate, because Stansted's not a particularly long one to taxi to, so 29, say half an hour to landing. 44, yeah, we need to say 10 minutes early at top of descent. Not too much of an issue. Coolio, 40 miles till descent. Traffic in the UK is not looking too bad. There is 2 aircraft in Stansted, both on the ground it looks like. One's soon to depart, just pushing back. Who are you? RCH26. C130, okay. Well, C130 departing from Stansted for Shannon. And then also another going on the ground, FR799. Obviously a Ryanair flight, not quite putting the right code in. And yeah, we're probably flying in a couple of minutes himself. And there we go, leaving the mainland Europe. Next stop, the United Kingdom. I see a bit of lighting coming from somewhere. Is that the moon? Is that the tablet? Is that the tablet? Yeah, it's super bright lights there as well. Such a weird little thing. If I go to the main screen, not exactly dynamic either. Explain reflections. Still a little bit to go left. But who knows? By the time Explain 12 comes out, should be a little while away, but you never know. Usually it's every 4 or 5 years for an Explain release, and we're maybe towards the midpoint of its life cycle. I think everyone's quite sure that 11 will outlive quite a few of the future Explain variants. We're on 11.3 now. 11.4 yet to be announced, so by the time we get to 11.9, like I say, just before Explain 12, who knows what this one's going to look like and how amazing it will be, especially once the whole Vulkan implementation comes in and just brings the whole system to life. I mean, compared to Explain 10, it has just been a upwards hill from there, upwards path from there. It's really getting better with every update. Right, it's coming out to 10 miles now. So that's to 20,000, sorry, 2,000. There we go. And so, 5 miles, we make our descent. To also stick it on the chat as well. Unicom. Descending from flight level 380. Destination EGSS Stansted. ETA 20 minutes. Runway 22. Right, let's do our earlier approach measure, shall we? Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck. Just to let you know that we have now started our top of descent, and we'll be arriving at Stansted around 10-20 minutes early. So, fortunately, we made good time in the air, and we will land at approximately 20 minutes. So, we once again thank you for flying Ryanair again, and we hope to see you on a future flight. Probably could have watched a slightly better message, but that's fine.
Please review and complete these forms and keep them with you for presentation upon arrival.
Hang on, ahead of schedule, 10 minutes. Did about 4, sounds like a very American thing, that. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck. Just to let you know that we have now started our top of descent, and we'll be arriving at Stansted around 10-20 minutes early. So, Unfortunately, we made good time in the air, and we will land at approximately 20 minutes. So we once again thank you for flying Ryanair again, and we hope to see you on a future flights.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flight crew has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts.
I do love PAX. I do love PAX. Just that way you can kind of cue all the messages and just prepare the entire approaching like that. It's just so... It's smart and it's just fun. It's just fun to do. You're flying real passengers finally. So passing through 26. And the coast of the UK should be visible for us in just a couple of moments. A little cloudy, it's not quite as clear as I promised the passengers, but as long as the visibility is still clear, by the time we do land, we should be alright. Weather, I did say, will be around 14 dropping to 9. And the rest of the flights, it's been not much to talk about. We did announce they were coming in early, don't forget, so there you go, very satisfied, passengers are happy. That's hopefully some of those that were annoyed earlier. Where's the one I mispronounced the name of? It wasn't Lance, it was, where are you? Ruby, Guy, Rene, Vincent, Lance. Where's the one I was mispronouncing the name from? It wasn't Lance Webber. I've lost them, fair enough. What was the top of the list? That was that 14-year-old that we spotted, wasn't feeling very happy. Not Diane, not Terence, not Philip, Jerome, Ruby, not Hilda. I'm not too sure. There you go, Veronica. So yeah, she's not unhappy anymore, she's now just happy. So yeah, it's all looking good. I won't touch that anymore. I don't really need it until we get closer to the actual landing. 22,000 passing through. That's looking fine. Drag is required, so we'll set the speed brakes. And we are now over the UK. So it's just a bit too cloudy to see. If I actually look at the map on the left, that will explain the position to you. So we've opened over Felixstowe, Manchester to our south. And the rest of the approach shouldn't take us too long. We get to about 10,000, we'll say the 10 minutes to landing, the standard call for final, and then bring the aircraft in. Setting up the custom arrival points has also meant that we were able to get a nice approach in. But we actually do kind of head to north a tiny bit before making a U-turn back. So that's one way of doing it. And then, yeah, come into land at Stansted. I probably could have actually gone for a direct to runway 22 intercept, but just for the sake of our altitude, probably best we follow the path that we had set. Speed brake off, since we have now passed the holding speed of 280, or at 267. Fine, 17,500, so about 500. We'll set the whoops, bit of lag spike there as the app loads in. Set the altimeter. Check the airport information for Stansted. It's 1007. I need to set this to. There we go. Actually, make sure that our approach reference is all set properly as well. Don't think it's the case yet. 149, a bit of a heavy one, but that's alright. 110.50, 223. 110.50. 110.50. 223. It's always the same for Stansted. What's that down there? Is that Stansted? Ah, yes, in fact it is. Alright, 223. 223. It's a bit of an awkward one actually. We've given ourselves rather a obtuse turn for the final waypoint. Should be bus start straight to that. So skip Laurel. And then at least just gives me a moment to force the aircraft around for a better angle in the approach. Not great, it's not a 90-degree turn, but better than what I was trying to do with Laurel. Yeah, still at 13,000. We could have been lower, could have been more direct, but a slightly angled approach won't cause us much harm or delay. What is our ETA now? 15 minutes, yeah, that's plenty of time to get down on taxi. Speed brake slant, going a little fast.
We have begun our final descent into. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat in front of you.
Alright, landing lights active, logo lights active, altimeter all set. And I really do need to sort out my flaps soon. Our airspeed still needs to drop a little bit more below 250 if we start lowering that. I guess a faster approach does mean that we'll get there a little quicker. And by the time we do get to the Buster waypoints, the right hand turn there will also just kind of slow us down. Down to 8,000, start the flaps. Yeah, so we are now starting to throttle up there. Let's now make Charlie India 22 our next waypoint, so left hand turn. I guess make this turn as soon as possible just to kind of, like I say, make the approach as shallow as possible, especially the final turn onto the ILS. Down 6,000, spoiler's not armed, so that's alright. Auto brake to 2. Yeah, that's what I mean by a slightly sharp turn. There we go, through clouds. A bit of rain actually. Gosh, I really promised passengers a bit too much there with the no rain. What we'll do, let's go for a slightly more manual turn. Only because I'm really not happy with the approach angle on that ILS. Continuing a slow descent though, just for the sake of getting the aircraft down. There we go, out of the clouds. Stansted to my right. It's not a bad approach this actually. How much more flaps do you have left to do? Actually quite a few. And then we'll stick it back on CR nav and VNav in a couple of moments, just to progress with the rest of the flight. There we go. So the ILS is now kind of lined south, left and right. There we go.
To go. 2,500.
Alright, 2,500s. Gear down. Two more flap settings. That's fine. ILS intercepts 5 miles away. On final runway 22 EGSS traffic. Let's now bring this aircraft down. Aircraft hold itself at 2,000 feet. Set the VOR localizer. They were a little low right now. That wasn't a great idea. I've realised I pressed off the turn off the LNAV rather than the VNAV, so I went straight to heading select.
1,000
realised we're coming a little low as well. Very little low. So we're trying to get back onto the OR there. And then just finish off this approach into Stansted. It's 149, the approach speed needs. And there we go, back up to 2,000 slowly. Now wait for the two magenta diamonds to allow themselves back up onto the PFD here. As soon as it does, flick the approach switch, and then we're ready to go. We have announced that we're on finals, so any incoming aircraft should be aware of that. Bit of rain. Approach set. And there we go. Now on final. There you go, the very weird way they approached. I've noticed that this aircraft has been doing a couple of recent flights, but regardless.
1,000 feet stabilized, Mr. Bridge, altitude 7.
Also throttle disarmed. Autopilot disengage. Let's bring it in. Little low, so pitch the aircraft up to get back onto the diamond. Looking good.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
216, I'll take that. Reverse thrust set. Let's keep the aircraft onto the runway. AC knots, cut. Should probably turn off at that point, but that's fine. Put a little bit of throttle in. Let's now leave the runway. And there we go. Music plays. We landed on time. And there we have it. Welcome to London Stansted. We're up 41 seconds early. That's pretty good.
Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins, as items may have been shifted during the flight. If this is your
Set
final
the aircraft
destination,
up.
we thank you for flying with us. If you're making
And
a connection,
starts
we
up the
encourage you to check
APU.
your itinerary to ensure a smooth continuation of your journey.
Let's now make our way to the gate. Arriving aircraft, we'll be using the taxiway close to the terminal. So we'll cut across there. Probably should have checked, but that's all fine. And once we get to the straight bed taxiway, I'll then quickly announce that we are clear of runway for any aircraft that are coming in for approach. There we go. So, just quickly announce that I'm clear of runway. Echo Golf Sierra Sierra traffic. Clear of runway. Yeah, slight drift to the right in this aircraft, but that's kind of natural. Well, not particularly. I mean, you only get it mainly with prop aircraft. That's prop wash on an engine aircraft, not particularly. So I'm not too sure actually if 737 does drag like this to the right in the real world. I've got some reason to believe it maybe actually doesn't. Both engines are stable. Engine output on the right hand side is actually a little higher, but not by much. And there we go, passengers sitting there as we taxi the gates. Gates for arrival, we'll probably just use the newer bit of terminal on the far east. Yeah, the far northeast terminal, we'll stick it in there. Also should be going past the tower, if that's just a bit behind us now. Oh no, there's control tower, just slightly ahead of us in front of the cargo terminal there. Okay, so done cargo terminal. That's the international flights and larger jets. Those who use jet bridges. Ryanair certainly don't. Then we get to the non-Ryanair and EasyJet stands. Next is the EasyJet section, followed by mainly Ryanair. Sometimes you get a few other low-cost carriers in here, but 90% of traffic that goes into this terminal will be Ryanair. Let's make a right-hand turn. And then pick a gate. Any gate doesn't matter. We'll go for this one here. 5-3 left. Six three left even, sorry. Hold the aircraft in position, parking brake set. Whoops. Cut off the engines. Switch power to the APU. APU bleeds. Switch over. Packs off. And there we have it. Tax lights come off. And so do the anti-collisions. Air lights can stay on since we are underground. And so, let's do a quick announcement. Welcome to London Stansted. So once again, we do thank you for flying with Ryanair. We have arrived slightly early, like I say, about 10 minutes, which is always good. And the weather at the moment is 9 degrees and slightly cloudy, but not particularly raining. So once again, we do thank you again for flying with Ryanair, and we hope to see you on a future flight. So we'll set that to X-flight cabin, X-flight boarding, deboarding status check. We'll do a general. Welcome to London Stansted. So once again, we do thank you for flying with Ryanair. We have arrived slightly early, like I say, about will start in a couple of moments. The weather at the moment is 9 degrees and slightly cloudy, but not particularly raining. I've got to do disarm doors and cross check. And we hope to see you on a future flight.
We're still boarding. Let us know if you need anything.
Still boarding, that needs to be changed. Whoops, I'm now stalking this for some reason. I will need to cancel that. Give it a second, cancel. Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross check. Leave it be. And then cabin crew, disarm doors and cross check. Forward cargo. Ground handling, shadow control widget, bring that in. And these two also come in as well. Fuel truck we don't particularly need. As soon as the exits arrive, then we'll get to connect all that. Finished the flights on Project's flight. That's not longer required. Deboarding has started on a smart car, so we can probably finish that as well. Well, the ones that will stay is PAX, since that will be the passenger deboarding process now. I actually realised I never turned off the dome lights during landing. I probably should have done that. Naughty me. Alright, exits open, ground services, connects GPU, set chocks, ground power on, APU bleed off, APU off. And since this would be the last flight of the day, we're doing the full cabin clear up as well. So, start the overhead panel, start with fuel pumps, so they will come off. Your damper comes off. Power will turn off last. Taxi lights, that's all fine. That can come off now as well, so can logo lights. See outside actually can come off as well, as passenger needs to deboard. Window heats all off, probe heats off. Hydraulics pumps off. Reset that to 0. It's 10,000. And then this all goes down to 0. So 0. 0. This will be 100. And course goes up to 0. It's nice and quick clean up since everything is fairly close to the reset values. So we'll just need to turn off the battery once passengers have deboarded. I mean, we can wait for the entire long-winded process of PAX do its thing. Halfway deboarded, 4 minutes left. We'll just end it here. That's correct. So, I expected a delay. Not particularly, this counts taxiing to gates there and had a schedule, which is fine. Recommend you at work. Tell you to my friends about the airline. Glad we're early. All looks good. I'll give that an upload. Perfect. And with PAX now done, we can finish off the rest of the setup. So that comes off. This comes off. And emergency lights also deactivate. And finally, off goes the battery. So aircraft's now full cold and dark. And we can then exit through the stairs. So there we have it. We'll go for a quick flight replay. So we'll close the exits now just to ensure the replay doesn't get messed up. There we go. And then stick on a short final. A little earlier. Let's just go fast backwards. There you go. So left hand side, I think it's the main we care about since I've got the view of the terminal. It's all looking good. Perimeter road just there. Now entering the airport. We'll now be entering the runway threshold. See the taxiway in a second. And down, a little heavy I guess, but nothing particularly too much to worry about. And then yeah, fairly simple stop. Missed the early turn-off point, but easy made it the second one. Why can't I find the replay option? There it is. Just frantically clicking there. Alright, take on short final again. A little further back. Take it on front view. Ooh, the cargo door's still open. Didn't close that properly. But hey, I'll carry on watching the replay as it is. Aircraft's coming in on final. Nice simple flip. Probably could have kept her in a little longer. But otherwise, nicely done. So, there you go, close the cargo door now. That is that. Ryanair FR793 from from Venice Marco Polo to London Stansted. That was my real world trip from UK to Venice for a day. Back to work tomorrow morning. We'll be nice and tired for it, but hey. And yeah, it's been pretty good so far. To this point, I will now be in the terminal and going through the security for control before heading out to the terminal, getting the shuttle bus to the car park, and then making my way back to the back to London, I guess, back home, ready for another day ahead. So, I do thank you for watching this premiere. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. Do leave a like if you enjoyed. Do subscribe, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in a future stream then. Thank you very much for watching, and good night.